Morning everyone, Boker Tov. We're in Siman Reish Nun Bet, the last Seif Zayin. And the Shulchan Aruch says as follows: Mitzvah lemashmesh adam lechelav be'erev Shabbat samuch l'chashecha. It's a mitzvah to touch your clothing on Erev Shabbat, close to Shabbat. Shelo yeh b'hem davar she'asur latzet bo b'Shabbat. In order to check your clothing, in order that there's nothing that's asur to go out with it on Shabbat. Be it if there's no eruv, and now you want to go out and there might be something in your pocket that you're going to be carrying, or be it if the item is something that's Muktze that you can't touch on Shabbat, you can't have on Shabbat. I remember my Rosh Hashiva in Israel saying, he says it's a nes how people, put their phones away before Shabbat. Like we're so attached to it, they're so attached. He's like, it's a miracle that people don't come to shul on Shabbat with the phone in the pocket. So this is what it is. And it's interesting, the Shulchan Aruch uses a lashon mitzvah. It's a mitzvah to check yourself, that you make sure that you're coming into Shabbat without anything in your pocket for carrying, or without anything in your pocket that's muktze. This is both for men and women, this type of mitzvah of checking yourself. And Rabbi David Yosef brings down in the Sefer Mishnah, in the Sefer Birur Halacha, that if, let's say, you have clothing, let's say you have a Shabbat suit, and you only wear it on Shabbat, so you know that there's nothing in there that's muktze. So if you want to do a quick check, you could, of course, but you're not obligated to, because it's something that's miyuchad for Shabbat. Now here, the Shulchan Aruch says, samuch l'chashecha, that you got to check close to nightfall. So when is this time? In general, close to nightfall, what's brought down is generally about a half an hour before sunset. So at that point already, you're getting ready for Shabbat. Be on guard half an hour before. Check yourself. Make sure that you're good to go. So, but there is one opinion that says that it's from the time of Mincha Ketana. So just on a side note, what is Mincha Ketana, Mincha Gedola? We might have heard of these terminologies. So Mincha Ketana is basically, back at the time of the Bet HaMikdash, they would bring Korban Tamid in the morning. This week's Parashat Pinchas. Korban Tamid in the afternoon, in the evening. Korban Tamid. So that was brought. Therefore, we pray Mincha at that time, and that's brought. It's about 3 hours before sunset. So that's in general. That's when we could pray Mincha, because that's when the Korban was brought. So how do we pray Mincha earlier? So 3 hours before sunset these days is about 5:30, 5:45. So we're allowed to pray Mincha Gedola. So it's called Mincha Ketana because it's a small amount of time from that point till sunset. Mincha Gedola is a big Mincha from like 2 p.m. We're allowed to pray from then all the way until sunset. That's because one time a year, Erev Pesach, the Korban Tamid was brought earlier to accommodate for Korban Pesach. And therefore, because of that one time a year that you brought the Korban Tamid Ben Arbaim earlier, that means, hold on, this is a time that we could also do Mincha. This is also a time that we could do Korban Pesach. And therefore, from Mincha Gedola, from that 2 p.m., that time, we're already allowed to pray Mincha. That's the difference between the two. So there's one opinion, Rabbeinu Tam, that says, Samuch L'chashecha means here, Mincha Ketana, or 3 hours before sunset. It's a strict opinion, but there is an opinion that says already from 3 hours before, get ready for Shabbat and check yourself to make sure that you have nothing there. Lastly, is that let's say on Shabbat itself, you want to walk to a place outside of the eruv, so you have a mitzvah as well to check yourself that there's nothing that you're carrying, so that you don't violate. Okay, that's that for Siman Reish Nun Bet, and next week Siman Reish Nun Gimel. A little bit of difficult halachot with regards to the oven, and because setting up stuff from before Shabbat, setting up the food before Shabbat, warming up food, keeping food insulated, hatmana. We'll get into it, B'ezrat Hashem, slowly. Mincha tonight at 6:45. Have a good day, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. Tana D'Eliyahu.